Call. He spoke one-on-one with our Katie Easter about his diagnosis, his message amid unprecedented restrictions on everyday life.
It was Sunday, March 15th when Dr. Sean Wilson says he started feeling sick, so he went to the doctor.
We went in to get a flu test, and my flu test came back negative, and at the same time I spiked in fever. And adhering to a lot of the governor's directives, I immediately quarantined myself on Sunday afternoon and proceeded to get a test.
Wilson was given a test for COVID-19. On Wednesday, it came back positive.
And when the test came back, it clarified what I was feeling. And as the body aches persisted and fever persisted, the sore throat onset, and basically the same symptoms that you're hearing other victims of this virus spread talk about are things that I've experienced.
So you just said that you just finally started getting rest. Does this virus make you not sleep?
Yeah, it was very difficult to sleep, I think, on Monday and Tuesday. It was lots of tossing and turning, lots of body aches.
And so where do you think that you actually contacted this virus?
You know, it's too difficult to tell. And so I have interacted with folks from around the world here in Louisiana in the nature of my business. Participated in routine conferences and meetings, and I think I've probably been in 3 or 4 different parts of the state.
Wilson, his wife, and son are all in quarantine as a precaution.
They're doing well. In common areas, we're wearing masks and are constantly cleaning and wiping down shared facilities and exercising the hygiene that we've talked about, because that's the one thing that
That's Katie Easter reporting with Dr. Sean Wilson tonight, who is feeling better after his COVID-19 diagnosis. Well, starting at midnight, a new executive order restricting services in Lafayette will go into effect. That order issued today by Lafayette Mayor President Josh Guillory. Until further notice, all non-medical personal services that cannot be performed without at least 6 feet of distance will be restricted. That includes haircuts, manicures, pedicures, spa services, massages, applications of cosmetics, tattooing, piercing, and other non-medical cosmetic procedures.
The mayor president has also put in a request with the state for National Guard assistance at screening sites in Lafayette. He says the request is only for their assistance dispelling rumors of martial law. Meanwhile, over at the Cajun Dome, we've learned 78 COVID-19 tests were administered today. Add that to the tests from the past few days. That means more than 270 people have been tested. The results are expected back in 7 to 10 days. And by the way, the screening and testing will continue at the Cajun Dome tomorrow morning from 8:30 until 10:30.
Well, new tonight, Louisiana will not require standardized testing for the 2019-2020 school year. That according to the State Department of Education. Since testing data is required to be used in accountability systems like Louisiana's annual report cards, the state will also exclude testing data from performance measures. Also new tonight, LSU confirming its first case of coronavirus. A grad student who takes all online classes, doesn't live on campus, and hasn't been on campus since March 7th. According to officials, that student did have a job on campus. Co-workers were asked to monitor themselves for symptoms.
After public outcry, the city of Abbeville is reversing its decision to disconnect non-paying utility customers during the pandemic. The mayor there says the city is now working with people who are affected by COVID-19. He says citizens who have lost their jobs or have health issues will be given additional time to pay their bills. To New Orleans now, where Mayor LaToya Cantrell is issuing a stay-at-home mandate, asking people to stay at home whenever possible. Essential businesses like grocery stores and pharmacies will remain open, though. Restaurants will also remain open on a takeout basis. The added urgency comes, though, as the city expects to see a substantial spike in cases as more test results continue to come in. And a look ahead to Monday, Governor Edwards and health experts will hold an hour-long discussion about Louisiana's response to COVID-19. If you have a question you'd like to have answered, you can submit them right now. We have a link over on KETC.com. You have until Sunday at 5 o'clock to submit your questions. The program will air Monday night starting at 7 on KETC CW.
Coast-to-coast drastic efforts are underway in an effort to cope the spread of COVID-19. From a need for ventilators to surgical masks, the challenges keep mounting, with doctors now facing infection.
Tonight, the number of infected passing 19,300, according to Johns Hopkins, as so many Americans wonder what's next. Here's ABC's Mark Stewart with the latest from New York.
Life in the U.S. is quickly changing as 1 in 5 residents in several states are ordered to stay inside as the coronavirus pandemic intensifies, including in America's biggest city, New York City.
We are now the epicenter of this crisis.
The governor of New York joining California and other states in issuing new mandates, beginning Sunday, ordering all non-essential workers to stay home, telling residents to stay indoors as much as possible and only leave to get food, medicine, or solitary exercise.
Essential services have to continue to function. Grocery stores need food. Pharmacies need drugs.
From first responders to families, no one is immune from the impact.
I'm very nervous, just feeling like, when is this all going to end?
Even with precautions, this New York City doctor tested positive.
I was using all the protection I was supposed to. I probably just wiped the surface with my hands and then wiped my face between mask usage.
Friday, President Trump announcing he's invoked the Korean War-era Defense Production Act, directing American companies that can, including automakers, to now manufacture masks, gowns, gloves, and ventilators. And in New Orleans, we get a look inside Ochsner Medical Center, where teams are using special respirator masks for protection, as World Health doctors urge young people to take the threat seriously. The Centers for Disease Control says nearly 40% of the people hospitalized in the U.S. are between the ages of 20 and 54.
I just want to let everyone know that, it's very important to stay inside and follow the CDC guidelines.
Also, a malaria drug being tested as a possible treatment for COVID-19, drawing a sharp rebuke from one of the president's top health advisors.
I agree with the doctor, what he said. May work, may not work. I feel good about it. That's all it is, just a feeling.
It might be effective. You're also collecting data that will ultimately show that it is truly effective and safe under the conditions of COVID-19.
Even though people living in several states are being told to stay at home, President Trump is still insisting he is not considering such measures nationwide. Mark Stewart, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, industries across the state are taking a hit because of the coronavirus. At 10:20, we talk to an Acadiana farmer about his fears for this crawfish season.
And we started to see some of the showers making their way across Acadiana already this evening. How long are they going to be sticking around? To look at your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit.
Team 3 Weather Lab. Here's Daniel's True View forecast.
Happy Friday, everyone. Some showers making their way across the area, starting to ease up a little bit for now. Now, we do have more rainfall on the way going forward through the rest of the weekend. Here's a look at the satellite and radar picture across the Gulf Coast. You've got showers still ongoing through central parts of Louisiana. They've seen a ton of rainfall so far today. We waited a little while before we started to see our rain arriving and got here right around dinner time. Still a little bit of that hanging around out there, but for the most part, it is starting to break up a little bit. You've got showers that are sitting offshore. For Acadiana, though, there's still an isolated shower down in southern parts of Lafayette Parish that's going to be right at the intersection of Lafayette Parish, St. Martin Parish, as well as Iberia Parish, and then out over towards the basin, clearing up out over towards Brobridge here this evening. Again, we do have some showers down a little bit closer to the coastline. You're going to see some wet weather out over through St. Mary, getting between Franklin and Morgan City up along Highway 90. Some wet weather there. The rest of it staying offshore as that front starts to stall. Now, the good news is, though, is that the showers that are up towards the north, those are going to remain there. We're not going to see too much activity here as we go through the rest of the night. Now, I do think we see a slight little increase as we get to tomorrow morning down closer to the coastline. We're going to keep a lot of these clouds in place through the day tomorrow. I think we'll get some showers in the morning, some showers again popping up in the evening as that front starts to lift northwards, and then we'll look out over towards the west. You'll get a bit of energy, a little low, surface low, work its way across that boundary, and that's going to bring a lot of showers to the area overnight Saturday. Saturday into early Sunday morning. Sunday's going to be a soggy day as well. We'll keep a lot of those clouds going and some showers working their way through the area. So we are going to be on the lookout for rainfall basically through the weekend, and you're not going to get a whole lot of sunshine this weekend either. Now, at times you may end up with a patch or two of some sunshine, but that will be about it. The rest of it is going to be pretty cloudy conditions. They've had some pretty decent rainfall up over towards Alexandria, sitting in the inch to an inch and a half, and I think they could see a little bit more of that moving forward through the rest of the weekend. Doesn't look like our rain totals are going to be all that great. I think we may be getting quarter to a half inch. So those numbers coming down here and looking like it's going to be a little drier than we were thinking earlier on this week. Temperature wise, we wake up in the low to mid 60s tomorrow. It's noticeably cooler outside here once the showers made their way through. We stay in the upper 60s, 70s for tomorrow. I think we probably sit right around 69, 70 degrees in Lafayette. You may see it up to around 71 a little further south, 73 out over through Morgan City. And then by the time we get to Sunday, it will start to warm back up, and we'll see those mid to upper 70s returning to the area. 60 degrees for your overnight low tonight. Winds from the northeast at 8 to 12 miles an hour. Front's going to be pushing through, a little bit cooler here tonight than what we've had the last several nights. We'll go with a 40% chance of rainfall, scattered showers, and a few thunderstorms, and a fairly breezy afternoon as well. Highs get up to around 70. We stay cloudy through the rest of the weekend. Looks pretty summer-like for next week, though. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures running in the mid-80s with daily rain chances basically each and every day. So again, 60 degrees for your low tonight, 70 degrees your high for tomorrow. We'll be right back right after this.